Bro, I built a business to $10,000 per month at 19, and I want to give you the simple tweak I used to go from bombing my sales calls to consistently closing to the point I was getting paid $2,000 per month on the first sales call. Meaning, after a sales call, by the end of it, they would send me $2,000 to my bank account every single month, $1,500 a month for my services. That's the power of this simple tweak in your business. And I guarantee you haven't heard anything like this because it's not like these sales gurus that give you scripts. I've used these scripts. I've been in the actual trenches, bro. I've been on a sales call. These multiple sales calls. These scripts don't work. The scripts of, oh, how are you doing, Sarah? So how much is your business making right now? How much do you want to make in 6 months? They don't have time for that. These business owners, if you're a young person like me, they don't see you as like, first of all, they don't see you as someone with authority right away. Second of all, they don't actually have time to just hear nonsense. You need to think of the sales call as like a YouTube video. You need to hook their attention. And I'm going to give you the actual framework. It's called the competition hook. If you use this competition hook in the sales call, it's going to change the game. You don't even need to show up more charismatic. You don't need to have the amazing presentation. If you just use the competition hook, your sales closing rate will go through the roof, bro. It did for me. Once I started implementing this, I literally never not closed. Meaning after I implemented this, every single call I did afterwards, I have closed. That is how crazy this technique is. Now, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna hop on the call. This is what we do. Okay. Let everyone else in their 20s, waste time partying or doing sales calls in the old outdated way. We're gonna do the right way. This is what you do. You hop on the call and immediately you say, "Hey Sarah, it is very nice to meet you. I don't want to waste your time because I know you're a very busy business owner. So let's get straight into it. Here's my screen." You share your screen, and the first tab that you've prepared before the call, which just takes 5 minutes, is going to be a tab of their competitor. So you're going to go on Google Maps. You're going to find their one business that's a competition. So I was selling to med spas. So let's say Sarah has a med spa and she has another med spa down the street that's her competition. Let's call it Shiny Med Spa. I'm going to show Shiny Med Spa. That's a tongue twister right there. Show Shiny Med Spa. I'm going to show that. And I'm going to say, Sarah, this is how we're going to destroy them. This is how we're going to beat them. Look, they're running these types of ads. Or if they're not running ads, you can also label the problem as that. They're not running a single ad. In fact, these are all your competitors. I might even pull up 5 competitors if that specific med spa has no one in their area running Facebook ads. And I would say, look at all these guys, Shiny Med Spa, Long Med Spa, Short Med Spa, whatever it might be. They're not running any ads. Look, now I want to show you some of my clients, or if you don't have any clients yet, you can say, now I want to show you what we can do to beat these guys. This is how you position the call as a us versus them framework. This is a timeless actual framework that countries and nations use to make their nations more nationalistic, make their military stronger. When you would position the other people as enemies, other nations as enemies. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe in war and all these nationalistic things, but I'm saying we can make business friendly competition by saying, Sarah, this is how we're gonna beat Shiny Med Spa and John down the street. And now she's hooked because for the first time in her business career, she has had another agency or another person come to her as if we're a team member, as if we're gonna destroy other people. Do you understand how much confidence that gives a business owner when they meet someone that's like, we're gonna work together to beat everyone else? It almost makes them feel more confident. It makes it feel like a story. There's like a story arc now that right now we're here, we're teaming up, and we're gonna beat these guys. It's like the classic story of two people coming together to beat someone else. That is how you hook a call, and now watch how she pays attention. I remember one guy, his name was Greg. I would hop on the call and I started going into this. I had like a 20 list of questions because Iman Gaji told me to do that in one of his videos. Have a sales script where you go through all these questions. Bro, by the second question, he said, bro, I don't have time for this. Just cut to the chase. That's when I learned these business owners value when you just throw them the value and you start with saying, hey, Greg, you own an IV bar. Look at these guys. These guys down the street also own an IV bar and they're running these types of ads. We're going to run these types of ads for you though. And then you visually show them how yours are so much better. And it's so easy. If the competition is running shitty ads, which most people do, most people run shitty products and have shitty agencies, whereas you're different. You show their shitty ads and then you show your ads and you say, and it's a clear night and day difference. Now there's an actual problem for them to let their guard down, and then you hook the business owner. boom, with the solution. You don't just spam solutions and their guards up and they're blocking it. You don't tell them, oh, this is what we're going to do for you. And they're like, no, I don't want that. Or it costs $2,000 per month for my services. And then their guards up. No, you say, Sarah, this is how we're going to beat Sydney down the street. And now her guard's going down. All of a sudden she's listening to you. All of a sudden she's asking you questions. All of a sudden she's opening about her problems in her business. All of a sudden there's one person that was opening about her marriage to me. Because people get comfortable with you when you establish the we're a team and we're beating other people dynamic. That's how you get people to form such strong connections to persuade people to do the right thing. Now, warning, you're going to close a lot with this tactic. You can easily manipulate people with this tactic. That's not the goal of this video. I'm making this video for the people that actually want to be real entrepreneurs, that want to be real businessmen, that exchange value for money in return. If you're someone that just wants to scam, get off my page. This is not for you. Now, this is your action step. Before your next sales call, let's say you have a sales call tomorrow. I'm making this video for the guy that literally has a sales call tomorrow and can't change anything else. If you just make this one change, it is the biggest impact on your end result because they pay attention to you during the call. They think of you as if you're already a team member. You already assume familiarity. You assume that they are into you and your products. You need to start with the us versus them framework. Sarah, you and I are going to beat these guys, them. And then you show your stuff. You don't show your stuff first. You don't show the solution first. You don't explain your product first. You say, this is how we're going to beat them. Now they're hooked. Then you show their thing, and then everything you show is within the perspective and the angle of how it's better than what they're doing. So instead of saying we run video Facebook ads, you say these guys are running photo ads, we do video ads, and this is what we try to get. You always connect it to why your thing is better than them. Instead of saying we write copy with this type of text first, you say they are writing copy like this. This is how we write copy. And then you visually show them why that's better. It gets this types of results. We use this type of psychological trick in our copy, or, influencing trick in our copy. It's just, you just value stack your thing to be way better than their thing. And now you have an anchor, and you can do this with B2C as well. Let's say you're selling supplement products like creatine. Let's say I'm a sales guy for whey supplements, or no, that's not a name, bulk supplements. I call John and I say, John, have you heard of Bob? I know this is kind of exaggerated, but this is how I would start a call. John, have you heard of Bob? Bob has been using creatine every single day, and his wife loves him now. His kids actually want to be picked up by him from work and school because they're like, oh my God, my dad is so handsome and he's so strong. And when he comes to pick me up, all my friends are like, whoa, look at your dad. He's so jacked. Boom. I've compared John to Bob, or I don't know who it was, but basically who I was calling. I talk about his competition, other dads that are getting in shape, and I show him why he's missing out and how if we team up together, we can do better. We can get him to that level. It works with everything. If you're selling websites, hop on the call with the person immediately. John, I want to show you another person's website right now that's in your area that's selling a similar service as you, and they're getting leads like this because they have an updated website. Now I want to show you how we can make a website even better than them. That's the us versus them. And then you show your website, then you show your amazing product, then you show your testimonials, and now they're in a position to let their guard down, and then you hook them. If you want the full system on how I built a business to $10,000 per month at 19, how to run and actually grow a success and start a profitable business in your 20s. You have amazing ideas, you have skills, you have talents, but you're not actually taking action. Click the first link in the description. It's going to be the breakthrough I wish I had when I started my business. I made so many mistakes. I failed so many times. What you need is the actual skills that last, not the quick tips and tricks. This video was for a quick tip because it was actually so transformative for me, that competition hook where you share their competition right away. But I want to give you the actual skills and more tips and tricks like this that were actually from the field. Because I'm saying these things because I've been on sales calls. I'm not a guy on YouTube just giving you sales advice. I'm giving you what worked for me and what didn't work for me. And what didn't work for me was hopping on calls and saying basic questions like, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. The closer framework that Alex Hormozi teaches is great, but if you use the competition edge, it just makes them lean in 10% more, 50% more. And it's so easy to close them, bro. It's so easy to get them on your side and actually establish the value of your product. Because the truth is, you don't have a product problem. You have a messaging problem. You have a value presenting problem. You have a perceived value problem. And you fix that by starting with the competition edge. If you want to learn more about these systems, click the first link in the description. And I can't wait to see you in my guy. Peace out.